There are growing content creation opportunities for youth and young adults around the world. And since it's Africa Month, this morning we'll be profiling creators in the continent. And now you've probably seen some of his work on social media. Kennedy Thor is a multifaceted creator known for engaging content that blends music and comedy and some personal anecdotes as well. And so a singer-songwriter, of course, in his own right. He's also a plant enthusiast, and he's going to be sharing his experiences. Born to a Motswana mom, often incorporating Setswana culture into humorous videos. And so this morning he joins us virtually to share a little bit more on how he's become a prominent figure in Botswana's digital landscape. Kennedy, good morning. Thanks for joining us at this hour.
Good morning. Thank you for having me at this hour.
Kennedy, I can see the plants thriving in the background. Your matcha tea is just behind you. So thank you for joining us and for the energy as well. We're loving it. I wonder if we can look at your career and how you got into content creation. What's that story? A little bit of your background on your childhood that would have influenced all of your content creation that's based on.
Okay, so I will start with how I started this journey of being a content creator. I worked for about 5-6 years at sea as an entertainer. And around the pandemic time, I was one of the people that got stuck at sea for actually quite a very long time. And so what started off as an attempt to give myself comedic relief ended up, but what I did is I took videos online and I just post, just to kind of keep myself sane, keep myself occupied because I was stuck at sea for quite a while. And it was an attempt to give myself comedic relief, but in turn, I ended up giving, I guess, all of the viewers comedic relief, and it just took off in a sense from there. And so that's kind of how I started, or how I got into content creation in a nutshell.
Yeah, and we're all better for it. Thank you so much for sharing your personal stories. In fact, your Motswana mother and your American dad, I mean, those stories blend quite well into the content that you create. And I wonder if you can tell us a little bit more about that, particularly your mom's influence and how hard she was in you learning your culture and how things are done at home.
Okay, so I think the beauty of my upbringing is that I had very contrasting, in a sense, parent perspectives, right, and parent environments. And so my mother is a Motswana mother, right? And I think a lot of the people that watch my content understand what that means. I also have a Motswana grandmother. I had an American grandmother. But there's just a way that a Motswana, and I'd like to say in a sense, almost like an African parent nurtures and parents, right? And so my content primarily is about celebrating my childhood and those experiences that are so authentic to me, because it's just so funny, it's so relatable, it's so heartwarming, and it's stories that I know anyone that has had the pleasure and the honor of having a Motswana mother or a Motswana father or a Motswana parent figure just will resonate with.
Okay.
And so, yeah. All
right. No, so thank you for speaking to that, because speaking about those influences, I was asking you a little bit offline how you then decide to, curate your topic. How do you choose what to speak on? And then, the added elements of humor and music as well. What goes into that content creation for you? How are you inspired then?
A lot of people ask, and I see it a lot in the comments, who scripts your stuff?
Yes.
I always laugh when I see comments, right? Who scripts? Nothing that I do is scripted. I have never in my life sat down and written down a script, because every single piece of content that I put out, if it has to do with my beautiful mother tongue, which I really love to celebrate, it's all just lived experiences. It's all just stories that come so naturally to me. It's just me mimicking this incredible environment that I grew up in that is just so full of humor. I think, I don't want to be biased, but really, Setswana is one of the most beautiful, expressive, melodic languages in the world. It's so funny. It's funny in a way that when I speak and try to explain these things in English to people that don't speak this language, it's impossible, And so what I draw inspiration from is just memories. It's just my lived experiences. It really is just like my childhood. It's my neighborhood. It's my grandmother,
Yeah.
So Yeah.
And so, Kennedy, on that note, speaking about Setswana and that melodic undertone as well, tell us about your music itself. Obviously, that's something you initially wanted to get into, but there's the songwriting element as well, and you can sing. How's that going? What's happening on that front?
Okay, so I worked for about 5-6 years as a performer at sea, and I sang a lot. And when I was at sea, you kind of get, you get tired of being on water. And so the reason why I put my music on hold is that when I got home, I fell so much in love with gardening, with comedy, with, I guess, a different facet of myself. And now that I've explored that, I do want to get back into making music and recording music and putting music out there.
Okay.
So I definitely will be singing again, which is phenomenal.
All right, we're eagerly waiting for those for that music to come through. But I also want to just end off because you a plant dad as well. Alluded to that earlier on. We can see it in the background. You've seen you also share your love for that. Tell us about your interest in farming and being a plant dad. And also, if we're looking at what really prides you in being an African, how would you encapsulate that for us?
Okay, I'll start with the first part of the question. My goodness, I feel like my connection with gardening, with farming, with wildlife is ancestral. It's so core and rooted in me so deeply. I love this. I love it so much. It gives me so much purpose. There's just something about growing your own food, about having your own chickens, about keeping your own bees and harvesting your own honey. The synergy, the symbiotic relationship you have with those things, how you give to them and they give to you, it's a reward unlike anything. It's something that truly I feel like money can't buy. And I think one of the fundamental things about my content when I showcase my garden and the things that I do here in my homestead is I want people to be inspired to just take a piece of that and maybe, hopefully one day, just try it for themselves, because it just gives you, oh my goodness, such a sense of being and such a sense of purpose that, I feel like not many things in life can give you that.
Yeah.
Right. And what was the second part of your question? Sorry.
It was just, and thank you for unpacking that for us. Obviously, it keeps you grounded and you're obviously utilizing those green fingers, which is a gift in itself. I was asking you what it means or how you find pride in being an African and what that means for the continent as well.
Okay, I'll say what it means to be an African content creator, right? I'll take it there. What it means for me to be an African content creator is amplifying my cultural experiences, right? It means celebrating the things that are just indigenous to my landscape, authentic to me and my life experiences.
Yeah.
And in a sense, making them mainstream, putting them on a pedestal. And so the reason I love doing this content in Setswana so much is because I want to celebrate this language. I think it's such a beautiful language. In fact, when I see like my American followers commenting and they're laughing, I'm like, you can't hear what I'm saying. But the fact that they can just take away from my expression and the sound of it that it's funny.
It's resonating, Kennedy. It's resonating loudly, absolutely. I'm going to have to leave it there, but thank you for joining us this morning. Enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy all the best as well for your future endeavors. Kennedy Thalls chatting about his relatable content videos, which resonates with a diverse audience, of course, making him a prominent figure in Botswana's digital landscape and across the continent as well. Thank you to him for joining us.